Hi, everybody. Let's pump it up a bit with some marketing engagement. I'm going to share how customer success teams, and I'm probably the only marketer that's going to talk in this conference, how customer success teams can actually leverage marketing for customer success goals and customer success growth, and of course, advocacy. So we're basically going to talk about why should you even do that? Why should you leverage customer marketing? How does it help you as customer success leaders and customer success practitioners? What is customer marketing to begin with? And what is the second funnel? How does CLG, customer-led growth, compare to PLG, product-led growth? And how does customer marketing eventually influence advocacy, upsell, and retention? We're going to leave time for questions and answers, so please ask away, and hopefully we'll have a lot of questions, and hopefully I can have some answers. My name is Gal again. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CrowdVocate. We're a customer marketing platform. Let's begin. So what's in it for CS? Why do you need customer marketing? Why should you collaborate? And I'm going to give you 3 whys on that. The first why is this is what customers expect. This is from Forrester research this year, pretty fresh. Basically, they said customers expect 4 things, right? So they want, and this is talking about buyers, but think about it. When you do an upsell, when you do a cross-sell, when you do an expansion, when you do a retention, you're selling to customers. So what do they expect? They expect access to information being open, and they expect to have shared goals. Of course, customer success understands the shared goals very well, but they also expect it to be intuitive. They expect a contextual experience within their journey with you, and they expect it to be immediate, right? So my first reason why is, are you intuitive? I mean, is your messaging to your customers after they become customers contextual? In what way, in what manner to each one of their journeys, right? Think about that. And my other one is, are you immediate? Are you only talking to them when you have a QBR, or when you have a planned call, or when they proactively reach out to you because they have a support issue? Or do you have a way to engage them immediately whenever they are engaging your brand, in your website, in your community, in your academy, in your product, in your events and whatnot? So that's your first reason why. Your second reason why is about the whole idea of scale, right? I mean, at the end of the day, customer success teams need to be able to scale, whether it's for the low-touch customers or because you want to have more programmatic engagement around upsell, cross-sell, etc. So how can you scale? And the thing is that if you want to scale with automation, both on programs, you want to have programs that support upsell, cross-sell, and expansion for scale, and you want to scale on basically tools that help you do that. Now, just to mention regarding that, as you can see here, the conversion rate for multi-channel approach versus just a single channel, so just sending them emails or calling them versus texting them, calling them, pop-ups, in-apps, and whatnot, is very different, right? Multi-channel rules. Same thing is, the conversion of, being trigger-based and contextual versus just, hey, now is the QBR. That's not trigger-based, right? So that's regarding that. Now let's look at what influences, this is a research also by Serious Decisions in Forrester, what of the following tactics influence cross-sell, upsell, and expansion, right? So you can see, of course, customer success is first place for influence. Woo-hoo! But what comes next? You have advocacy, right? Advisory boards, social sharing testimonials. You have the community and forums and communities, again, sometimes under customer success, most times. Then you have account-based marketing. That's marketing. Then you have references, events, email. All of these influence. Why would you just stick with the first and best one, 68% customer success, when you could actually do the first and the second and the third, and just increase your chances because you're leveraging programs and tools to grow retention, expansion, upsell, etc. So that's your second why. Your third why is about your blind spot. So customer success basically doesn't really see the entire journey, right? Maybe, product, engagement data. But what happens to those C-level people who never go into the product? What happens to users who are not very highly active in the product, right? What happens to products where there's not too much to do? A lot of it is automated. So your customer journey has a lot of other touch points. That's your blind spot, whether it's your company's blog, virtual events, user groups, maybe it's your community and the amount of engagement in community, collecting that data. Maybe it's your academy, and maybe it's your support collateral, your knowledge base, etc. How do you know their journey beyond the product and see all of that? So that is basically your 3 whys, right? This is what customers expect: a more engaged, comprehensive, immediate journey. This will help you programmatically increase upsell and expansion. And this will help you remove that blind spot of the journey beyond what you can see in your own systems. Okay, so what is customer marketing? How does that help? First of all, it's marketing to your customer base, right? If you think of the buyer journey, they look at you, they search stuff on the internet. You as consumers yourselves do that, and we're talking mainly B2B here, but at a certain point, they buy and become customers. Everything after that becomes customer marketing, right? That's when you want to start to market. If you marketed to them till they became a customer, why the heck stop after they become a customer, right? Why not help them be a more valuable customer and also value more your brand and your services and whatnot? So it's lifecycle marketing, journey-based marketing, insight-based. It incorporates loyalty programs. Why should Starbucks have a loyalty program, but your B2B company or brand not? So there's a lot of consumerization happening in B2B, and there's no reason that B2B brands shouldn't have advocacy and loyalty programs for their customers. It actually helps, and many great brands do that today. And it's marketing to the customer experience and all the experiences, and not just to a specific 2 or 3 contact people in their sessions with you on customer success issues. Okay, so if you think about it kind of this way, it's basically customer marketing has all these different touch points and pillars where you have, they can help you with messaging around onboarding. You'll still do the onboarding work directly with your customers, but maybe they can help with messaging. Maybe existing customers can provide user-generated content that helps better explain elements of your onboarding process, okay? Customer marketing will help you with events, whether it's user groups, customer advisory group boards. And think about why should just the CEO have a customer advisory board? Why shouldn't the customer success organization have a customer advisory board that talks about success stuff? Okay, your community, whether it's run by customer success or run by marketing or whatnot, or by product, that's a great place to engage customers beyond just their classic support issues. Why not find your advocates and find, different use cases in your community? Then you have customer marketing can help with, sourcing out advocacy and providing content, voice of customer feedback, and lifecycle marketing. We talked about that, and we'll show all that. Okay, so you all know journeys, right? And maybe you're already doing these journeys for your customers, but marketing can support that. Marketing can have a welcome message and a product tour. And some companies do that inside their product using different tools today with, messaging and chat and whatnot. But again, think of the journey that happens outside the product, right? Why not engage customers even when they're in your blog, even when you're visiting your virtual event, even when they are in your community, but engage them to the next step you want to take them in your product or in adoption or in the experience with you as a brand, wherever they are. So like we said, customer marketing helps with loyalty programs, being more programmatic. So first of all, it can add multiple channels, right? Some people like to do in-app and pop-up messages. Some want the email, text, Slack, having a customer portal and chat, right? It can add gamification. So, hey, why not have, rewards, badges, leaderboards, some kind of, framework where customers could basically say, the more I do, beyond being a customer, if I contribute more content, if I contribute more feedback about the product, I can join the beta group. I can have access to more features, or I can have access to management people. So there's a lot of things that are in it for the customers, because if they use your product, they want to be able to influence more. One of the ways to influence more is to become advocates. So it's really a win-win game. But they also have a nice experience. We talked about experiences where they can have, sometimes fun and gamification, sometimes get rewards, and sometimes have, privileged access, VIP access to your customer event and whatnot. It's a win for you as customer success teams, because you're really helping your customers be great. Isn't that what customer success is all about? You're just adding more tools to help your customers be great. So let's talk about the second funnel. What the hell is that? In our framing, there's the first funnel in marketing. I don't know if most of you should be aware of that. The funnel means that, you get a buy, you get a prospect, and then slowly you take them down through the funnel till they're a sales qualified lead, or first they're a marketing qualified lead, sales qualified lead, closed one. We have a new customer. Now, once they become a new customer, especially in SaaS, a lot of the plays are land and expand, right? They start small and they grow. They start free and they turn premium. But whatever it is, you want to retain them the second year. You want to expand, or you want to upsell because you have a new feature or you had an acquisition. All of these plays are a second funnel. You're doing a new sell. It doesn't matter they're already a customer. If it didn't matter so much, there wasn't churn in the world. But there is churn in the world. So there is churn because there are other constraints, other competitors, internal issues and whatnot. So you're really doing another sell. Maybe it's an easier sell, maybe not. We're not going to debate it. So when you're doing another sell, you need to understand, first of all, that there are a few decision makers. You know that, right? There's the decision maker himself, the C-level, or whoever takes the decision. But then there's his team, the power users, other people that are influencers. That's how sales thinks, right? They want to map all the influencers of the retention, or all the influencers and people involved in the upsell, etc., right? It's another funnel. And that's why you should think of marketing kind of as being your airstrike, your air cover. So while you are basically talking to individuals that to your contact people, marketing would kind of send specific messages to that account, or to all those accounts that are up for renewal. That's called retention marketing. All those accounts that might be relevant for an upsell of a feature. They would create the air cover. They would create the mask, the automation, the multi-approach to funnel relevant leads to customer success for all those instances, right? So customer marketing can help create another funnel for post-sale. And marketing can look at people, for example, from a different perspective and share that data. We'll talk about insights, but share that data with customer success. So we can share data. Hey, we've been tracking people's journey, and we see that they're super active in the community, and they're super active in the academy. They've been reading our blogs about a certain topic. Maybe that should be interesting, and you should talk to them about that in the next call. So, when marketing does their tracking and their marketing to existing customers, they can give you a new dashboard and new insights about the customer experience, the customer journey, that isn't really the classic dashboard, the classic health score that customer success has, because it's more based on engagement, advocacy activities, champions and whatnot, and less so about, specific health score metrics that you see in the product. Okay, let's talk about PLG, product-led growth, versus CLG, customer-led growth. We can start with this. 5 years ago, product was king. Some would say the product is still king, but research kind of shows that it's not so much. Products are in a way comparable. Maybe they have 10%, 20% of differentiation, bells and whistles. But today, the experience has flipped, and what majorly influences the decision of purchasing is customer reference, testimonials, voice of customer. That also influences the second funnel. Sure, they're already your customer. You have a clear advantage, but again, upsells don't always succeed. Retentions don't always succeed. There's a reason for that. You want to leverage marketing to make sure that you convert more, right? So product-led growth is great. If you want to complement that with customer-led growth and engaging the journey, this is how you do it. You leverage marketing to market outside the product. You leverage marketing to market to people who are not in the product to begin with, and you leverage marketing to do it contextual to their journey. Let's show some examples. This is Checkpoint, this is their community. For example, they can say, hey, we have an event next week. Why don't you sign up or whatnot? But they could also, inside the discussion forum, to people who are contributors and provided a lot of solutions, and they are really power users in your community, they could reach out and say very personally, man, we love the way that you're contributing to this community. We would really love you to join our advocacy program. We would really love to hear what you have to say about our product. We would love to have you speak on our event. That's how marketing can help, in those kind of instances as part of the journey that doesn't, for example, happen in the product. Okay, what types of insights can customer success gain from this? So first of all, for example, community engagement and contribution, right? Who are the people that are helping us in the community? Who are the people that are contributing, and we should leverage them for more activities? Certification, user group participation, website blog interest. These are, again, if they're reading an article about a new product you launched, maybe you want to talk to them about this new product you launched or feature. Stuff like hidden advocates, right? So in an account, maybe you have 5 users, 10 users, 25 users, 200 users. You as a CSM are not talking to 200 users, not even 20, not even 10. You're most likely talking to 3, right? Maybe 5. So, at the end of the day, within an account, you can't reach everybody. You can't see everybody's engagement. But maybe if you leverage marketing data, insights, analytics, touch points, journeys, you can start seeing who are your hidden advocates, hidden champions, that when you do need them for something around customer success, you can use them, right? So for example, you can use them when you're up for renewal. You can ask all those hidden advocates, hey, what do you love about the product? What results have you seen from the product? You aggregate those, and then when you come to your quarterly business reviews, hey, you show the buyer, let's say the buyer is the chief finance officer, or the buyer is whatever, chief sales officer or whatnot, chief revenue officer. Hey, look what your users are saying about what they gain out of the product. And now when that decision maker sees what his own team is saying about this product, it's much better than what you say about the product, right? You could leverage user-generated content. You could have marketing ask customers to provide data about use cases, maybe even more support solutions, maybe messaging, how you tweak your messaging for different steps in the post-sale in the second funnel. And with those contents, you could do a better job on kind of conveying the message in the way that customers talk, right? That's what marketing does in the first funnel. They take customers' voice and they help clarify the message to new prospects, to new customers about pains and how customers solved it with your product. Why not do it also for the second funnel, for upsell, expansion, cross-sell? So let's almost end with an example. Retention, holy grail. Let's talk about it. So if you take an example company, true story, that has 600 customers up for renewal, right? And, on an average year, they would have 22% churn. Now, let's say that we do an A/B test, what we call. So there's one, it's like a placebo for those who don't know marketing. You basically keep one cohort with no touch and one cohort gets the pill. So out of those 600, let's take 363 that are in any way, relevant, and we're going to market to them, right? And the other, 240, we don't touch them. They keep on doing their same thing. They keep on staying in this 22% kind of practice, the same way that customer success does it always, right? So out of those 363 that we do want to market to, only 185 are up for renewal, right? So once you start marketing to them, running nurturing campaigns in parallel to whatever CS does, not instead of, but on top of, right? Suddenly you reduce churn 4 points. That's amazing. You just nurtured them, right? Then for those who also open content, a bit engaged, you even increase 2 points. So you actually reduce churn by 6 points now. And lo and behold, for those who really interacted with the content, so in parallel to having those discussions with customer success and maybe joint discussions with customer success, they also had marketing campaigns, but they also engaged those marketing campaigns. And the campaigns were, of course, relevant to the retention and the renewal process. You take down churn to 6 points. So, this is the power of doing retention marketing. This is the power of running customer marketing, high scale, high capacity, programmatic marketing to your customer base in parallel to doing the customer success work. Again, not instead of, but on top of. So kind of to bring it in, customer-led growth and customer marketing basically has, programmatic approach to support three pillars of your business. The first pillar is new sales. Maybe customer success doesn't care so much about that. But then there's the other two pillars who are the predominant of the revenue, at least for SaaS companies. We have upsell expansion and loyalty retention. And the idea here is that you could do lifecycle marketing to increase the share of wallet of your customers. And on average, you can, that could support between 20 to 40% of the upsell revenue. That could help you generate those. And when you do loyalty and retention, again, think about if you engage your customers, not just in QBRs, not just every 2 months, but programmatically, the full year, the full month, across their journey, now in the community, now in the academy, now in the blog, now in the user group, now in the product, now by email, now by text, whatever. You engage their journey in a way that they accept. You don't overload them. You don't bombard them. You respect, of course, their preferences, but you engage them. What happens when you have engagement? And then you add on top of the engagement, let's say, a loyalty program, right? And advocacy. So if you have advocacy and loyalty and engagement, you get retention. Pretty easy. If you're going to have a company that's, you're both engaged with them constantly, and you're also on the loyalty program with them, the chances of you churning are way lower. Engagement plus loyalty or advocacy generates retention. That's important to remember. Basically, the next step for you, my recommendation, of course, is that you go ahead and have that talk with marketing. If you have a customer marketing team in your organization, try to see how you could better collaborate, how you could build joint programs and campaigns, how you can generate more advocacy and loyalty. If you don't have a customer marketing group, then you need to talk to your management and to your marketing and have that discussion about that. Another point, and with that I will end, is that there's a psychology effect that a lot of us kind of ignore. But I always like giving this example. Let's say I bought a new car, and let's say it was pink. And let's say 2 weeks after, my friends ask me, but why the hell pink? So now I have to justify my decisions. As humans, psychology-wise, we justify our decisions. So I would find all the reasons and all of the excuses of why pink is the new black and why you should do that and why it's a great car, etc. Right? I mean, same thing happens with your product. If you get all your customers, not just your key contacts, but as many customers within an account and as many customers within unmanaged accounts to advocate for you, just to write a quote what they love about the product, just to give you 5 stars or smiley versus frowning, just to do small acts of advocacy, of loyalty, right? And maybe they get $5, $20 Starbucks for that, or maybe not, never mind, some gamification, a badge, whatever. To be proactive in small ways in their journey with you. What happens? Now when the year comes and they have to justify their decisions to themselves, if they said you're great, if they spoke on your event, if they gave you a customer story, can they now, at the end of the year, say, but this product doesn't give me any value? They will justify their decision. That's a psychology hack. So just saying, at the end of the day, advocacy and loyalty to your install base and marketing to your install base actually helps generate much more conviction, internal conviction with your customers to retain. And with that, I will end and open it to Q&A.